Good evening. Please rise, remaining standing, and remove your hats for a national anthem performed by Skyline Vocal Jazz, directed by Mrs. Nancy Zebart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And the rockets with their stars bursting in
They proved through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Honored guests, parents, relatives, friends, Skyline staff, and fellow class members, my name is Jay Selkar, and I am your senior class president. It is my pleasure to welcome you here to the Skyline Commencement exercises of the class of 2017. May I introduce Superintendent Ron Thiele, Issaquah School Board members, President Lisa Cowan, Harlan Gallinger, Marnie Maraldo, Ann Moore, Suzanne Weaver, and Executive Director of High Schools, Paula Phelps. Welcome all. With that, I'd like to introduce our 2017 academic speaker and my friend, Miss Natalie Stender.
Thank you, Jay. Well, I'd like to start off by saying that I thought the worst part about graduation would be being nervous for this speech, but it's actually how unflattering our grad caps are. Like Jay said, welcome to everyone here tonight. To those supporting us, thank you. My name is Natalie Stender, and it's an honor to speak on behalf of the class of 2017. As we went through school, I'm sure we can all relate that one of the most overused phrases has been the real world. Many of our elders have thrown it around left and right. Once you guys get to the real world, you'll realize things are not like this, not this cushy and not this convenient. This is just not how it works in the real world. And like many of you, my inner sarcastic teen reared its head as I thought, okay, well, if adulthood is the real world, then where have I been living my entire life? Are you telling me my world is fake or what? But in all seriousness, as this day has approached, it is start to set in that this real world is about to be here, and that reality has brought a flood of feelings with it. The most overpowering of these, to me, is hope. We have often sat in our seats questioning the world and feeling like we have little means to change it. Now with a diploma, we are more empowered than we have ever been before. I urge you to use this power to pursue your hopes for the world. Hope that human rights will be recognized globally. Hope that we can mend a divided nation. And hope that every child will receive an education. Today, we are no longer just a number in a streamlined system of requirements and complex scheduling and application enhancing. We are individuals with choices about how we can spend our time and effort. Let us choose honor in a cause greater than ourselves, and let us choose to love others through every interaction. I am so proud of the maturity and the community-mindedness that our class displays. And funny enough, I was thinking about this as I read through our senior destinations page on Facebook. Now, I'll admit it, I also Facebook stalked the senior destinations pages of a couple other high schools in our area, and their posts were all one-liners. Next year, I will be attending whatever university. Now, for those who haven't seen it, ours is a little different. It features not only destinations, but paragraphs sharing struggles we have overcome, lessons we have learned, and expressions of gratefulness towards our friends and community. And I believe this says a lot about our character. Class of 2017, keep reflecting, because we only improve by looking critically at our past. Keep sharing your hearts, because there is so much to learn from the wisdom of others. And keep appreciating the people who have walked alongside us, because without them, we would not be here today. This real world that we are about to enter will bring many triumphs, but also many trials. One of my favorite encouragements is by Max Lucado. You are valuable because you exist, not because of what you do or what you have done, but simply because you are. So whether you leave this stadium here today with 17 cords around your neck or with none, know that you are here for a purpose, and I have every confidence that you will fulfill your unique goals with passion and with conscience. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. I would now like to introduce Skyline Vocal Jazz performing Another Day of Sun, directed by Miss Nancy Zebart.
Here I came, I could be brave or just insane. We'll have to see.
I'll sleep you down, I'll slip 1K. The lights are down, I'll see my face and think of how he used to know. These hills, I'm reaching for the heights and chasing all the lights that shine. And when they let you down, another day of walk the road. And the morning rolls around and it's another day of I hear them every day, the rhythms in the canyons that'll never fade away, the ballads in the ballrooms left by those who came before. They say you gotta want it more, so I bang on every door. And even when the answer's no, or when my money is running low, a dusty mic and neon glow, Another day of sun. Another day of sun. Another day of sun, 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 sun. Another day of It's another day of sun.
Thank you, Vocal Jazz. Please welcome our Skyline staff commencement speaker, voted by the class of 2017, Mr. Will Hahnemann.
Good evening. First, I always wanted to do this, and since we're in a stadium, I want to give it a shot. Spartans, what is your profession? Spartans, what is your profession? I think that was pretty good. Thank you. You're going off into the next stage of your career where you're going to be looking for your profession, but you're also going to be looking for what is your passion, what is your question, what is the problem that you're going to be working on for the rest of your life. And I'm just excited to get to be here with you tonight. Parents, families, I want to say thank you for letting your kids come to our school for the last 4 years. It has been a joy and an honor to teach them, to explore the world with them. And students, I want to say just what a privilege it has been to spend the last 4 years with you. I've seen you in the classrooms, in the hallways, on stage, sporting events, playing, cheering. Everything you do, you push yourself to do the best that you can. You put sometimes too much stress on yourself, but what you do is inspiring, and you're always pushing these limits, and it's something that has inspired me. And I see it when you're learning, when you're getting stronger, when you're beatboxing, when you're curling. I mean, you push yourself in all these ways, and it's inspiring to you. And so to kind of honor that and do justice to that, tonight what I did when I was heard to be this, that I was going to be elected to speak to you tonight, I went back and watched all the greatest speeches in American history, right? So you know that I love American history, so I watched Martin Luther King Jr., I went and read all of Lincoln's speech, Robert Kennedy, Ronald Reagan's 1980 nomination speech. You guys know those ones, right? All the best ones. And then I distilled all of that. I just kind of absorbed it, and then I turned it around, and then I wrote the best speech in history. And it's so good. It's really good. Hold on. Oh, but I'm not going to give you that speech now. I'm not going to, because I actually think I learned something even deeper in examining these. And you guys have heard part of this thesis before, right? Part of this thesis is Martin Luther King Jr., you know the story, he winged it, right? The I Have a Dream speech, halfway through, he breaks script, right? He goes off script, and it's the second half of that speech that's magical, right? 1963, Washington, D.C., 200,000 people, national televised audience, and he goes off script and changes history. Not even 5 years after that, he's murdered in April of 1968, and Robert Kennedy has to go give a speech. He goes to Indianapolis. Every city in the United States is burning. They're rioting. And Robert Kennedy goes to Indianapolis, and he knows nobody in Indianapolis knows yet. He's going to deliver the news that Martin Luther King Jr. has been murdered in Memphis. He goes to Indianapolis. The police say, we can't send you into that part of the city. If you go, we cannot protect you. He goes, no notice, no speech. He kind of writes it down as he's on his way. He gets to Indianapolis, to the inner city, and gives a speech, and Indianapolis doesn't burn that night. Right? He gives a speech. It's an amazing speech. It's a great speech, but it's not a perfect speech. It's not even a good speech. He stumbles, he stutters, he quotes Greek poets. He can't remember the quotes quite right. It's all over the place. But what he does, similar to what Martin Luther King Jr. did, similar to what Ronald Reagan was able to do, is they break the script, but they reveal who they are. They reveal who they are in a really deep way that I think is more important than any perfect speech. In fact, my argument is there probably has been a perfect speech, but we didn't care, right? If a perfect speech was given, we would forget it the second it was given, because we don't want perfect. What we want is a connection with another human. Right? And so that's what I think I learned when I examined all those speeches. And then I know you're sitting up here, you're looking at me, and you're saying, Mr. P, you're all talk. No, I'm not. I'm not all talk. And you say, yes, you are. You've got these perfect PowerPoint presentations that are like 1,000 slides long. You know that, right? You used to have this sweet, flowing, long hair. Mr. P, you're perfect. You never get distracted in class discussions. If a student asks you about like the Wu-Tang Clan or Seinfeld, you never start talking about 90s pop culture. That never happens. You're perfect, Mr. P. That's what you're thinking. And I'm saying, no, I'm going to show you. So this is what I did. I put a giant hole in my speech. See it right here. It says, you are deeply prepared for this moment. Leave room for inspiration. It's going to be amazing. It says, they won't judge you. They know you and value you as a human being. It says, something is going to come to you. It's going to be brilliant. It says it's okay to keep waiting. There's a question down here. Is everybody still looking at you? Is everybody still looking? Are they judging you? This might have been a bad idea. Nothing's coming to me. And on the next page, for some reason, has a picture of a shadoof. I don't know. Nothing came to me, but thank you for not judging me. Thank you for being here with me and not judging me during that moment of weakness that I just showed to you. That's deeply meaningful to me. I'll never forget that. That's my theory with Robert Kennedy, right? There's two kinds of preparation. You can be ready for the moment. You can know all the answers to the test, but there's a deeper level of preparation that's about who you are in that moment, who you've become. You've become a deeply interesting person by thinking about these issues, about justice, love, right? Wisdom, connections, relationships. That's when you're really prepared, and it's about who you are. It's not about what you know or if you can work PowerPoint or not, although that's very important. It's about who you are. And I hope that's something that you've been able to explore at Skyline, even if sometimes you don't know that it's happening. I hope you've been able to find that thing that lights a fire in you. So that was my pause for inspiration, and nothing came to me again. So I guess I have to start kind of back at the beginning, where it all began, with the shadoof. And I don't know if the parents out here know what a shadoof is. All the students, you guys know what a shadoof. You remember a shadoof, right? Woo! It's amazing. So what it does is it's a giant contraption for taking water from a river and putting it into an irrigation canal, thus making the agricultural revolution possible, cities, advanced technology, complex religions, institutions, universities, all of this, civilization comes from the shadoof. It's a magical thing, the application of human knowledge and genius to transform the natural world to make this possible. Point of the shadoof is there's nothing that equals the shadoof for your mind. It only works in water. That is, there's no river of knowledge that somebody's going to reach into and take it and put it into your head. It's not going to work like that. You're going off to college and you're going to have to earn everything. Like, no matter where you go, no matter what the name says on your diploma, you're only going to get out of an education what you put into it. Nobody's going to shovel that into your head. And the same goes for passion. You know, it's been said that an education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. And it's another thing that I hope goes along with that, right? That what you learned at Skyline is what kindles that fire, what you're passionate about. Because your life is going to be work. You're going to work hard. Whether you know it or not, you're going to work hard. That's life. And if you're not passionate about it, you're going to experience it as pain, as suffering. So finding that passion is one of the key things, and so that's why we're going to ask you, we're going to see you in 10 years. Spartans, what is your passion? What is your question? What have you been working on? And you're going to come back in 10 years, and we're going to see you as your teachers. And within 10 minutes, we'll be able to tell if you're working on that passion. And if you're not working on that passion, no matter how successful, no matter how much money you're making, what status you have, what titles you have, if you're not working on that passion, we'll be able to tell within 10 minutes, and we'll feel sorry for you. Because that's what we want. That's our highest dream for you as a human being, is to explore your passion and find that thing that lights that fire for you. And when you find that, chase it. It's a cliche, but you have to chase it. You're going to be that person that's deeply prepared. You're going to be a deeply interesting person because you're interested in something, because you're exploring it, and as you're exploring whatever it is, it's video games, it's business, it's music, it's education, healthcare, curling, beatboxing, you're exploring that, but you're exploring yourself, and you're becoming who you're going to be. And when you find that person, we will be so happy, we'll be so thrilled for you, and we knew it was there all along because you're Spartans, and we love you and have enjoyed these last 4 years. Congratulations, Spartans. It has been a privilege and an honor. Thank you. This picture is you. All right. Now it's my privilege to welcome our student speaker, elected student speaker. It's been my privilege to have him in my class twice. When I had him as a 9th grader, he already had the poise, sense of humor, and intelligence of an 11th grader. And then when I had him as an 11th grader, he had the poise, intelligence, and sense of humor of a man far beyond his years. Please welcome Ivan Esmeril. Ivan Esmeril.
Thank you, Mr. Ponanen, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, friends, family, faculty, my parents, my sister, and my abuelitas who crossed 2 continents to be here with me today. And dear, determined, exhausted, and brilliant members of a class completing the 20th year of classes at Skyline and the last group of students to be born in the 1990s, the class of 2017. Thank you to everyone who made this wonderful event a possibility, and all of you in attendance that join us graduates as we stare down this incredible quarter-life milestone. I'd like to begin with my own story of moving to Beaver Lake Middle School in the 7th grade. It seems that it was just yesterday that I was 13 years old, and my mom came home to tell my family that we needed to relocate in order to be closer to her job. I sat there, nervously faced with the prospect of a new adventure filled with difficult change. I made the terrifying transition of being a big fish in a small pond to a small fish in a gigantic pond. My entire grade at my old school consisted of 20 students, and half of the class of 2017 attending Beaver Lake Middle School was larger than my entire school of 10 grades. As a new student, I wanted to discover who I was and what I was interested in, and so I nervously took risks. And one risk that will stick by me forever is signing up for Mr. Ford's 7th grade Introduction to Woodshop class. I knew absolutely nothing about any type of wooden figure, and our first task was to find a partner and begin brainstorming a design for a bridge. I saw an eager glow in somebody's smile across the tables and approached someone I had never spoken to before. That glow belonged to Alex Elevathingle. I got home and I told my dad that I was building a bridge, and he immediately laughed at me and still brings it up to this day, saying that there was no way I could do this myself and that my partner would be building the entire bridge for me. This was the beginning of 6 years of lifelong memories and hard work. There truly was beauty in our struggle because after that first day, I learned 2 things. My experience at this school was going to be just fine, and that it was okay to take risks rather than having any sort of regret. Alex still is my friend to this day. I learned in woodshop to be a friend to everyone and to surround yourself with those who will soar you to greater heights, maybe even those who are a bit smarter than you, in my case. We have all spent the last 4 years unconsciously building our own bridge, in moments of tears and moments of joy, realizing that the task is not a task to take on alone. While taking on new challenges, we made memories and relationships that I think will prove to be more valuable than the millions of tidbits of information we spent time memorizing. Like any finished product, we must soon test our completed bridge's ability to resist new types of adversity as we enter the real world beyond high school. I'd like to read a few words by Benjamin Franklin that correctly summarize our distinct class. He said, "We must all hang together, or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately." The class of 2017 hung together through adversity and triumph, and I am forever grateful for my time with all of you. It is now time to carry on the values that were instilled within us, within the halls of Skyline, following a new road and building new bridges, holding the original that we created together close to our hearts. I challenge you to look a little further than what is directly in front of you. Whether you're a graduate, a parent, a grandparent, or standing here today as a friend, do not wait. It is time to look beyond the horizon and build your own bridge. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to present our alma mater, performed by Skyline Vocal Jazz.
Thank you again, Vocal Jazz. Now, for the introduction of the class of 2017, our principal, Miss Donna Hood.
Welcome again, everybody. Welcome to all our students, your supporters, your families, your friends, and your fans. Thank you all for being here to help us celebrate these incredible students. I have to echo Natalie. Today is a day of great hope. You have lives and paths ahead of you that none of us can see. The not seeing can be hard sometimes, but if you choose to make friends with that particular discomfort, you can experience the exhilaration and wonder that comes with the unknown too. There's a lovely young character in a book I read this winter entitled All the Light We Cannot See. She is blind, and for much of the novel, she lives with a great uncle in France at the height of the Nazis' power. Both her blindness and the danger of living in a besieged city keep her inside often. But one day, when she goes out to get bread, she discovers a world she did not know existed. A neighbor who grew up with her grandfather takes her to a sea wall on the coast of France and opens a heavy metal gate. He brings her hand to a curved wall which is completely studded with snails, hundreds of them, thousands. She discovers hundreds of tiny, squirming hydraulic feet beneath the horny, ridged top, a sea star. Everywhere, mussels clicking and sighing, galaxies of snails, a story of life imminent in each. As they leave, he asks her if she can find the place again, and she says yes. He puts something in her hand. She has the key to freedom and to this extraordinary place with beauty and rest and comfort in it. We hope as you leave Skyline today that we have given you some keys to magical, wonderful places that you can return to over and over, no matter what is happening within your circumstances. I know some of you are leaving with a passion for performance, a deep love of reading, the ability to write music or poetry, the incredible aptitude for serving and mobilizing others into service. Some of you draw and paint beautifully. Some of you have an incredible affinity for numbers, others of you a love for athletics, and still others of you a fascination with how things work and how to make them work better. I imagine no matter what path you go down next, that you will discover worlds you didn't know existed, and that you may even create them. And yet, I also hope you continue to return to the things you love now, the things that bring you joy and keep your hearts open to wonder. And I want to close with just a few words from poet Lawrence Ferlinghetti, because they remind me so much of why I love to work with and for and among high school students. He says, "There is no time now for fear and loathing, time now only for light and love." Thank you for sharing your light and love with us. And just like some of you sang for us this morning, shine on, Spartans, shine on. Now I'd like to introduce Lisa Cowan and directors of the board. It is with pride and pleasure that I certify that the students of the class of 2017 have indeed met the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Issaquah School Board.
Checkbox 1, graduated 5th grade, done. Checkbox 2, survived middle school, done. Whew, that was a good one to have done. Checkbox 3, graduated high school, yes. Okay, what's next on the list? Let's see. Start on post-high school path to success. Okay, I can do this. I'm on a roll. I'll get the steps, build the timeline, get going. Alexa, what are the steps to success? There is not one clear path to success, she politely responds. Uh-oh, now what? This is what Alexa, Google, Bing, and even that old magic 8-ball can't tell you. You've heard a bit of this before. there's no harm in hearing it again one last time. The pathway to success is not a straight line. It's not a definitive set of steps. It's not even defined the same for everyone. Sure, in school you worked on your plans beyond high school. You have an idea of what is next for you. Career counselors are great at showing you your career options and guiding you through your post-graduate plans. You likely do know what you're doing tonight, tomorrow, next week, and in the fall. Those are the steps that will take you to your next goal, a goal you set to move towards success. Good stuff. Do it. Do all of it. But here's a hint. There's just a little bit more to it than that. While you're forging ahead with the start of your future, make sure you leave room for the unexpected. Be okay with a change in direction and be open to new possibilities, new opportunities along the way. Discover new interests, new passions. Give them space. Allow them to grow. Make time for white space, an open calendar, an empty playlist. Engage every choice with intrigue and wonder. As your path takes its twists and turns, make sure you're the one that's choosing the direction, not those around you. Know your own story. Be comfortable with your own story. It's who you are. Always be aware that your story creates the lens from which you see the world. So be curious. Take the time to find out the stories of others, especially those who aren't like you or may not see things the way you do. Use gratitude to adjust your mindset when things get rough. Ground yourself with humility and balance frustration and struggles with hope. Be okay when things don't work out the way you want. Know it's just part of the journey and an experience that becomes part of your story. And last, always choose compassion and kindness when you're given the chance. Always defend compassion and kindness when you're given the chance. You see, what Alexa doesn't know is the path to success is an infinite loop. Success isn't the destination. It's a way of life that encapsulates finding and living your passions, physically and spiritually connecting with the world around you, and ultimately living in a way that leaves you, your neighbor, and the world a bit better. I'm full of hope and confident in your infinite loops of success. And I can't wait to see the many ways you're going to shape the future. So congratulations, Skyline seniors. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I accept Principal Hood's verification that these Skyline High School students have met the requirements set forth by the Board of Directors of the Issaquah School District and the State of Washington. They are officially accepted as the Skyline High School graduating class of 2017.
Emi Shimimura Estedilia.
Paul Claude Abu.
Tara Mackenzie Davenport.
Vincent Abello.
Sarah Marie Isaacson.
Jonathan Glenn Adams.
Catherine Carlisle Adams.
Sarah On.
Susan Elizabeth On.
Dylan Proctor Ames.
Shay Tyler Allen.
Meghana Amruther.
Riley Catherine Amrine.
Corey Brad Anderson.
Benjamin Lee Anderson.
Victoria Ann Anderson.
Peter David Anderson.
Joshua Antonio.
Rebecca Andre.
Connor James Azarello.
Madison Joe Ard.
Henry Sutherland Vanivalu.
Grant Michael Niehaus.
Kelsey Lauren Barrett.
Kaylee Ann Romero.
Cameron Edward Baird.
Kea Lakea Santos.
Sorry. Mark Belansky.
Hannah Marie Berg.
Leslie Berger.
Kona Kai Bertolino.
Barty Barani.
Ishan Fi Bamani.
Rehan bin Manahi.
Alexander Diagai.
Kaylee Karen Blashke.
Evan Black.
McKenna Corinne Booth.
Chloe Bloom.
Olivia Rose Bowen.
Dustin Bocott.
Alexandra Elizabeth Ellen Brazier.
Caroline Rose Bowman.
Ramzani Bresnahan.
Lauren Elise Brenning.
Lauren Rose Burke.
Julia Raquel Buck.
Claire Marie Buxton.
Annika Marie Bunnell.
Kimberly Gail Kabamalan.
Zach Butts.
Alex Kamai.
Connor Patrick Byrne.
David Sow.
Madeline Grace Calvert.
Liam Thomas Carius.
Anirudh Kanamala.
Melissa Carpenter.
Sophia Isabella Carruthers Quintana.
Rachel Cathro.
Holly Carvalho.
William James Suspidus.
Taya Lauren Cerna.
Corinna Chan.
Nicholas James Challey.
Tyler Chang.
Alex Chang Lam.
James Michael Sherenzia.
Kinsey Alicia Chapman.
Stanley Wen Chow.
Hannah Choi.
Jakari Clark.
Noah DeVere Christensen.
Kyle William Cliquinoy.
Chase Cleary.
Isabel Catherine Cafaro.
Jacinia Annalise Colon.
Stephen Douglas Copenhaver.
Jeremy Samuel Cordova.
Aaron Correa.
Alicia Marie Coulter.
Jessica Dawn Cowan.
Jovan Pierre Ibanez Cruz.
Olivia Ann Curtis.
Ryan Christopher Darcy.
Varun Damodarasamy.
Jack Stewart Danes.
Abby Marie Dean.
Olivia Tate Dean.
Alexander Joseph Robert DeBraga.
Evan David DeYoung.
Jennifer Aaron DeYoung.
Carolina Delgado Rees.
Mitchell Colby Denslow.
Isabel Maria Diaz.
Paulina Alexa Dickinson.
Alexander David Deagle.
Sarah Deeker.
Austin Dodd.
Niall Nicholas Drochek.
Ryan Michael Dusich.
Logan Reginald Dooling.
Sarah Beth Duncan.
Isabella Arden Dupar.
Madison Ann Eater.
Katie K. Earl.
Dalen Thomas Egger.
James Nolan Eggert.
Alex Joseph Elefingal.
Sandra Ellikis.
Brendan Connor Imich.
Jenna Christine Ellis.
Keanu Cole Espina.
Kylie Alexis Engel.
Benjamin Peter Yunson.
Jana Marie Esser Jose.
Anthony Daniel Evasich.
Alex Evenson.
Golda Liano Faraz.
Stephen Farno.
Sarah Fitzgerald.
Jacqueline Sylvia Fernandez.
Amber Line Fotana.
Sam Fernhaber.
Michaela Christine Franzi.
Alexander Grant Fleming.
Eric Dane Frostad Thomas.
McKinley Dean Fodness.
Benjamin Joseph Furphy.
Benjamin James Fornia.
Nathan William Gerke.
Zach Frober.
Pearson Thompson Gibeon.
Indalich Renee Fuller.
Hannah Elizabeth Gillette.
Anna Lee Garrett.
Richard Nissan Goldman.
Alexander Harrison Jelinas.
Pari Gopal.
Riley Matthew Gill.
Emmett Rolf Gruber.
Camille Elise Akemi Gu.
Kanal Gupta.
Gina Marie Grossi.
Elijah Manet Hainsworth.
Luke Andreas Gruber.
Sarah Stark Hall.
Kieran Kathleen Hawk.
Christopher Mark Harper.
Hannah Stark Hall.
Olivia Renee Harris.
Catherine Rose Hand.
Lucas Angelo Hausenmeyer.
Stuart Donald Harper.
Eric Michael Helke.
Spencer Ryan Harrison.
Megan Hennedy.
Cooper Theodore Hawes.
Ray Thomas High.
Alicia Ann Henderson.
Julia Renee Hills.
Sydney Hershey.
Emily Marie Holderness.
Nathan David Hill.
Megan Yoshiko Horn.
Connor Brock Hoke.
April Huerta.
Andrew Ryan Holt.
Candace Eileen Hunter.
Noel Shaw.
Hannah Brooke Hurst.
Jack Weston Humble.
Jared Scott Jacobs.
McKinnon Markham Hurd.
Nick David Jennings.
Aaron Kodak Ishimaru.
Caleb Peter Johnston.
Catherine Jansma.
Erin Elizabeth Jones.
Jaron Jin.
Alana Danielle Kadish.
Kendall Nicole Johnston.
Taylor Marie Kaminsky.
Michael Ju.
Kai Xavier Kang.
Emily Louise Kaminsky.
Ava Karami.
Devin June Kang.
Kaylee Ann Kasuba.
Arjia Canada Guli.
Sankalp Shrisai Kata.
Emily Rose Cargill.
Brandon Lou K.
Sunket Shrisai Kutta.
Zahara Gariso Kadir.
Kyle Paul Karahara.
Zia Rahman Khan.
Melody M. Kazamini.
Alina Minji Kim.
Elizabeth Ruth Kendrick.
Elaine Minji Kim.
Bradley Kakoa Kim.
William Hughes Kimball.
Noah Kim.
Natalie King.
Abigail Elizabeth King.
Alexa May Curtin.
Ryan Scott Kinnear.
Presley Knox.
Drew William Kistner.
Isha Dinesh Corday.
Cynthia Colapel.
Emily Chelsea Koya.
Annie Elizabeth Kuntz.
David Alex Kringle.
Vladislav Krasnowski.
Alexi Suntari Kumala.
Alexandra Marie Kruper.
Lane Audrey Camaro.
Erica Kumar.
Ethan Munhang Kun.
Priya Kundu.
Annie Laurel Kurtenbach.
Heidi Marie Kunzler.
Austin Dean Lambert.
Holly Marie Lambert.
Anna Paula Lanzara.
Magdalena Lorraine.
Alexander Kenneth Lucius.
Sean Michael Lawrence.
Michelle Anne-Marie Lawson.
Sean Harold Lechtenberg.
Alex Chang Lee.
Brooklyn Olivia Lee.
Elise Legault.
John Christopher Leach.
Brandon Sean Lynn.
Holden Frederick Liu.
Charles Liu.
Margaret Hanwen Liu.
Hunter Gordon Liu.
Gabrielle Cynthia Locker.
Lauren Lowe.
Sabrina Margareta Luce.
Daniela Vivavani Longi.
Coleman Jade Lucas.
Kendrick Yu Liu.
Kenny Hong Tai Lee.
Alexander Luzhnov.
Kartik Dhananjay Maharjan.
Hari Madhu.
Surindrapal Singh Malhotra.
Samir Mehan.
Thomas Edward Manius.
Katie Lauren Mangold.
Taylor Martinson.
Maria Camilla Marino.
Anne Marie Francois Mezzafero.
Suzanne Christine McCauley.
Jackson Chandler McCarthy.
Dana Minka McCaw.
Michael James McClelland.
Madison Claire McCombs.
Robert C. McCurley.
Aspen Danielle McLaughlin.
Kevin Samuel McGrain.
Ashley Nanako McHugh.
Nicole Kanako McHugh.
Kaylee Eileen McElwam.
Henry Sheehan McCrae.
Alec Andreas Melendez.
Alexander Victor Mena.
Diego Mendoza.
Valentina Mio.
Taylor Ray Metcalf.
Hanukkah Ingrid Meyer.
Evan John Minicucci.
Nicholas Scott Miller.
Mark Alvin Della Rama Mirador.
Riley Elizabeth Minikin.
Ranjan Mithil.
Taryn J. Mistry.
Hussein Miazawala.
Bennett Parker Mix.
Tasha Mock.
Harel Mizrahi.
Tyler Montgomery.
Molly Monroe.
Christopher James Moore.
Blake Howard Moore.
Carrie Michelle Murphy.
Gemma Morris.
Emi Nakatsu.
Robert Nadell.
Rithvik Nalaparetti.
Nikki Nakatsu.
Parkland Catherine Neal.
Shilpa Rajesh Narayanan.
Christina Quinnen Lin.
Chi Sung Edwin Ng.
Maya Bryce Nichols.
Nathan Khan Nam Nguyen.
Amanda Marie O'Brien.
Bryce Patrick Noonan.
Sarah Allison Okamoto.
Declan Philip Oberst.
Emily Anna Opitz.
Nicholas Alexander Oldham.
Matthew Fitzgerald Ose.
Jamie Thomas Osodio.
Thomas R. Overland.
Layla Rose Ovina.
Lisbeth Pablo Perez.
Daniel Pablo Perez.
Victoria Powell.
Manoj Panchalavarapu.
Alexander Bumchin Park.
Ishira Ashish Parikh.
Kevin James Parker.
Elaine Park.
Dara Sanjay Patel.
Kasra Pasha'i.
Emma Kim Patterson.
Riddhi Patel.
Vanessa Lamb Paz.
Travis Paul.
Mackenzie Joe Pike.
Trevor Michael Peden.
Emmanuel Obadiah Pendleton.
Naomi Lucila Pena.
Madison Elizabeth Peters.
Carly Joanne Peters.
Ryan Dean Pitney.
Sean Theodore Peter.
Alexandra Pletcher.
Donica Pitsley.
Maxwell Wilson Poole.
Aaron Fletcher.
Lucianne Catherine Price.
Mayuri Prabhakaran.
Divya Puvati.
Kellen Gregory Zabilski.
Shu Yang Q.
Hannah Quinn.
Nicholas June Quinn.
Tanner Gregory Robb.
Chase Reagan Murphy Rains.
Elliot Parker Rains.
Gayatri Raj.
Avi Rajvanshi.
Anthony Aldrich Ramirez.
Vineet Ramasetti.
Sophia Ramirez.
Brad Boros Rao.
Anish Ganesh Rao.
Sarah Fiona Mitchell Reed.
Vamshi Ravula.
Benjamin Nathaniel Richardson.
Abigail Elise Reed.
Clarity May Reason.
Juan Diego Riano Lopez.
Fernando Rios.
Logan Richard.
Mariana Rodriguez.
Nicholas Marino Riggi.
Joseph Merton Rosar.
Luke Albert Rockwell.
Elena Catherine Runyon.
Jack Emmert Rooney.
Megan Kelsey Sakamoto.
Colin Paul Rossiter.
Isabella Rose Sampson.
Alex Thomas Sakamoto.
Annika Jane Sands.
Gabrielle Grace Corazon Salgado.
Mish Sarkari.
Madison Ray Sandler.
Olivia Reese Schlosstein.
John Patrick Sansing.
Tyler Lawson Schnebley.
Derek Andrew Schreiber.
Andrew Schwartz.
Jeremy Scott.
Annika Seaver.
Haley Marie Sebring.
Eric Senanaika.
Nalasha Sin.
Beverly Grace Shee.
Jonathan Cito.
Isaiah Dean Shim.
Nathan Shee.
Peter Shin.
Eugen Shim.
Nanditha Shivakumar.
Yunji Shin.
Bethany Sigmund.
Megan Elizabeth Showmaker.
Jack Payton Skinner.
Sophie Marie Shugarts.
Benjamin Edgar Smith.
Shubhankar Singh.
Simona Sneptoskaite.
Taylor Renee Sistek.
Brian Ehau Song.
Colin Scone.
Molly Elizabeth Spaniak.
Gavin Thomas Smith.
Joshua Stavahog.
Matthew Steele Snow.
Nathan Tex Steele.
Noah Michael Souza.
Jared Timothy Stever.
Megan Marie Sparling.
Kyle Victor Strash.
Kendall Stanley.
Jill Evans Streamer.
Jack David Steele.
Emily Sherwood Sullivan.
Ethan Eric Steinmetzer.
Vivian Taylor Swank.
Tanner Jefferson Strawn.
Mitchell Zito.
Alec Michael Sullivan.
Taylor David Tatman.
Sophia Sun.
Alexander Noel Taylor.
Brooke Christina Cipher.
Michael Caesar Teodoru.
Ian Paul Tamison.
Claire Marie Thomason.
Cameron Terry.
Tony Y. Tian.
Emma Rose Thornton.
Jacob Byron Tilley.
Jennifer Ellen Tidball.
Megan Emily Titus.
Cameron Alexis Tingy.
Ryan Thomas Chum.
Lucas Michael Chum.
Eugene Minow Toe.
Clara Tu.
Caitlin Din Tron.
Caden James Trano.
Andre Trandifer.
Timothy C.T. Tran.
Sophia Morgan Trish.
McKenna Rose Tremblay.
Jonah Auralia Vigil.
Ivan Ivanov Trendev.
Shondor Baros.
Paul Yaromir Vonsovitz.
Cable Warren.
Trenton Chase Walters.
Brian Waits.
Harry Benjamin Watts.
Trevor Todd West.
Emily Ann Dora Welch.
Tanner John Wilkins.
Brooke Elizabeth Wilkes.
Shelby Marie Willis.
Mackenzie Francis Williams.
Tal Woolman.
Brandon Winner.
Calvin Tyler Wood.
Benjamin Shaw William Walters.
Grace Wu.
Andrew Worth.
Serena Shong.
Annie Yan Shaw.
Komal Yadav.
Kadar Yadov.
Ernie Yang.
Grace Maya Yancey.
Yu Lin Yi.
Joseph Gerald Yang.
David Benjamin Twin Yip.
Akash Hernath Yichuri.
Caitlin Hope Young.
Christopher Chanho Yu.
Carson Meadowcraft.
Jay Salkar.
Jackson Alexander Zariski.
Natalie Stender.
Michael Joseph Zarkos.
Ivan Esmeralda.
Betty Zoe. Michelle Jennifer Zoe. Kevin Zhu.
And now, once again, your class president, Jay Saukar.
Thank you, Ms. Hood. If you haven't heard yet, my name is Jay Saukar, and I had a privilege to be your senior class president this year. Before I begin, I just want to give out some thank yous. Thank you to my teachers over the past 4 years for all their help. Thank you to my friends for having my back since day one. And most importantly, thank you to my parents. Without their guidance and support, I would not be where I am today. When I began writing my speech, I had no idea what I wanted to write about. So I asked my parents, and they said, Jay, write something you have experience in. So I thought, what do I have experience in? And with the help of my encouraging friends, I realized I have an extended background in failure. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. You see, failure is something I hold very close to me. Not because I do it a lot, which I do, but because I feel it is both misinterpreted and underrepresented. As many of my friends would agree, I am easily one of the best hockey players to pass through Skyline in the past 10 years. And one of my coaches would always tell us that if you don't fall down when you're skating, you're not skating hard enough. And ever since that day in 10th grade, it's changed my perspective on failure. It's okay to fail, because if you play it safe, you won't be giving life your all. When creating the light bulb, Thomas Edison went through thousands of elements to find the perfect filament that would sustain a glow. After he was successful, he was asked if he thought those missed attempts were failures. He responded, no, I do not believe they were a failure. Instead, I found 1,000 ways that don't work. Failure means you're on the right track. Failure means you're on track to achieving your goal. The only thing that turns failure into a success is to kick the dust off, stand up, and give it your 110%. To close, I want to leave you with a quote by street poet and philosopher Drake. He says, never let success get to your head, and never let failure get to your heart. We're only 17, 18 years old, and we have a long list of accomplishments, and I can't wait to see where this class goes in the future. Thank you all. It's been real. Before we close out the ceremony, I just want to let you know that when prompted by the counselors, please exit through the stairs towards the concourse where you can meet your family. So it is at this time I would like the class of 2017 to please rise. Now, let us turn our tassel to the left. Oh. And that, friends, marks the end of our high school career. I now conclude the commencement ceremony for the class of 2017. Thank you, everyone. Would everyone please stand for the class of 2017 recessional? Thank you. Congrats. Here we go. We did it. We did it. Okay, let's grab our. I think we got our hat.
5U3.